I'm towing this 22-foot Grady White across the entire United States, starting at the southernmost point in the continental US, Key West, Florida. We've already clocked over 2,000 miles and hit some amazing places, such as Miami out to the Bahamas, Jupiter and West Palm Beach. Then we cut across the state over to Tampa and Clearwater, cruised up north to Destin, Florida. We hit Lake Lanier in Georgia, Summersville Lake in West Virginia, and now stop number 8, we are here at my hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. With all those miles and all those stops, you can imagine we've ran into our fair share of problems. So while I'm here visiting my parents, utilizing all their space, we're gonna tackle all the repairs and upgrades that I wanna do to this boat and get this baby ready to get back out on the road, because we are not even close to being done with this road trip. We have so much more to see, so much more to do, but we gotta fix a lot of things and make sure she's ready to go. And if you wanna support the channel, grab some merch, explorewithbrandon.com. We got shirts, hoodies, we got hats with the devious banana driving a boat. If you're familiar with the superstition about bananas on boats, I welcome bananas on my boat, but most people don't ever allow bananas on the boat. And now, let's get on with the repairs. Next order of business is this strut. It doesn't support it anymore. I'm gonna take the strut off. Hopefully, that one should fit perfectly right there. Also, I busted this latch off a couple weeks ago and it's just been hanging on for dear life, so I re-bolted that all the way on. Now that's solid. It actually completely fell off. Simple as that. This side still works. Just gonna put this up in a spare parts area. And there's no chance I'll ever remember where that's at. In the last video, this got completely blown off by a log, so got this remounted, literally just 2 screws and some silicone. Luckily that's back on, but I haven't put it back in the water to test it yet. This one's still not working, so I gotta troubleshoot that one too when I get back in the water. Okay, so it turns out that back here, the actual plug for the transducer literally just came undone. Very simple fix, another thing solved. One thing on my list that's gonna be a complete pain, I gotta do some new gel coat work right here, and along those scrapes there, and they're pretty much all the way to the back. It's a little bit of fiberglass showing, so now I gotta sand this down, epoxy, gel coat. It's gonna take a few days to get this part done. Oh yeah, and also, this brake line got ripped off and broken out of that caliper right there. So got that taken apart. I'm waiting on a new brake line to come. It should be here in a few days and then I can get that on. This video is gonna be over the span of some days. All right, I'm gonna clean it all up with some acetone. Got a little respirator thing. And then I'm gonna throw some 40 grit, maybe go to some 80 and then 120. Clean up the areas where there's gel coat damage, get it all prepped. And then I gotta figure out what to do after that. But at least I know how to do this part. I'm gonna get started on this. Putting the first coat of gel coat on right now. Wait a few hours, I'll put a second coat on. Tomorrow I'll come back out, smooth it all out, and then I think at that point I can put bottom paint on it. Not sure, still gotta do research. Learning as I go. Okay, now I am tearing apart some of these panels here. I'm gonna be utilizing one of these accessory switches, so I needed access to that. I tore this panel out because I needed access to this pipe that goes up into here, because I am mounting a light bar across the front so I can see when I'm pulling up to docks and whatnot at nighttime. And then I'm also mounting 2 tower speakers up here. So I need to pre-wire that. And check this out. A beautiful pull string was neatly tucked in there. Look up here. Neatly zip tied over there. Not a single wire in there and a pull string ready to go. That's like super, super unheard of. I never run into something that's set up this easily. Normally there's no pull string, there's a million wires jammed into there, I can't get anything to work. This was a very, very nice surprise. All right, this is the wire for the light bar. Let's go into the switch. The other end of it is right up here. And then I also have these 2 wires ran for the tower speakers, and they're already ran down into here. I gotta remove this amp. I'm replacing it with a bigger one that can handle more speakers. And now that's all as pre-wired as it really can be for right now. But Amazon just pulled up. Beautiful timing. Next on the list, bilge pump. We got bilge pump issues, kind of. I was doing some testing and that bilge pump, actually, so there was two bilge pumps. There was one right there and this one. Neither one of them were working. And when I lifted the float switch, it popped a fuse. So I was troubleshooting for a while. I literally went through 4 fuses and found out that this bilge pump right here was wired improperly. So I rewired this, hooked it all up, put a new fuse in, and now this one's good to go. This one is wired directly to the battery. So that way, even when my battery switches are off, if my boat's in the water, this will always still work until my batteries completely die. But now I'm going to replace the other one. This one will actually be on a switch. So that way I can activate it whenever I want to. So I have a manual one and then the fully automatic one. Boom. All right, finished up the light bar last night. Had some issues with wiring and mounting. I had to run out to Home Depot and get new bolts because the bolts it came with were garbage. But I'm waiting to clean up all that wiring until I get the tower speakers that are gonna go up there. Also, the bilge pump's not gonna work either because it's a specialty size diameter hose. So I'm gonna keep that one as a spare, and I got a new one coming from Amazon. But right now, getting ready to fix this area. You can see, oh yeah, that's not good. This metal piece is adhering really well, but it's adhering so well that it's pulling off the vinyl underneath it. So my idea is I'm gonna move this whole piece back, have access to this, and I'm gonna cut around this through the actual wrap and this black. So that way a new one of these can adhere directly to the fiberglass or the gel coat of the boat. And then I'll seal the edges of the actual wrap. That's the plan, I don't know. I think if I just cut around it, like, should be all right. I'm nervous. All right, we're gonna let that adhere for a little while. It doesn't look super great. It is what it is. I'm not a wrap expert. Next up on the list, the actuator and master cylinder on my trailer. It was working fine whenever Atlantic Marine had my trailer, and you know, the first couple trips I did around Florida, it worked great, but it just failed. So talked to Atlantic Marine and boom, they overnighted me another one. So let's get this swapped onto there. This baby is installed and good to go. A little bit more involved than I anticipated. Ended up needing a ridiculous amount of tools to make all that work. Still letting this dry before I put that back in place. And now I'm getting ready to sand down all the gel coat that I put on yesterday, make it nice and smooth, and then I'm gonna go over it with bottom paint. Bottom of the boat, good to go. It's a big relief. That job was really just like lingering in my head. It's a tedious pain in the ass thing that I'm not super confident on doing, but it's done, it's over with, and now on to the next. The full sound system for this thing is getting shipped tomorrow. And I actually have the template for 2 of the speakers from my other boat that I put the same sound system in. They're 6.5-inch speakers just like these, but it's made by a company called Scar. I love their speakers, they're great. But the biggest complaint about them is they're slightly bigger than a normal 6.5 speaker. So I gotta take these out and then cut the hole just a tiny bit bigger. I'm gonna do that now just so tomorrow it's one less thing I gotta do. Been tearing all this stuff off. Nasty underneath. Pain in the ass to get off.
But I have some new stuff coming that I'm putting in the boat, and I figure if I have some left over, I'm gonna slap it on here. I figure it'll look nicer than this stuff did.
Time to install some sea decking.
I'm gonna start with the swim platform just because if I mess something up, I'd rather it be a small piece rather than the flooring. I'm not doing the entire cockpit of the boat, just doing like some parts of it, just so it's not all the regular white decking that just gets so dirty every time even just a single wet foot steps on it. I love this stuff so much better. And this was like, I think it was 36 inches by 96 inches. I got 2 rolls of it for $143 on Amazon. The laser cut ones for my boat, they don't have the pattern, so I got a quote from a company. It was like $5,500, and I'm like, yep. I'll do it myself. Doesn't need to be beautiful. So I'm gonna give this a go. All right, check it out. Doesn't look too shabby. The edges are a little questionable. And I kind of messed up. I let this come to a point, so this little edge got a flappy on it. But I think it looks pretty freaking good for you know, my first time ever trying something like this. This side's a little bit chewed up, but I realized I figured out the proper way to cut it. Can't really saw at it because it gets all choppy. You gotta use a razor blade and go perfectly in one smooth stroke with it. And of course, it's raining. I got the umbrella to let that adhere overnight, and obviously can't do the inside of the boat right now. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow and the next day as well. Apparently it has rained here the last 13 Saturdays in a row. Oof, it's brutal. I've been here for 4 days now. It's been raining every day. So I'm hoping for a little break in the weather tomorrow so I can put the floor down inside the cockpit. And hopefully I don't make that look terrible. I think on video it'll look good, but when you see it up close, But I'm gonna call it for tonight and I'll get back at it tomorrow. Okay, future Brandon here. I absolutely love the way that the floor looks in here. Looks super nice. It's been holding up pretty well, but one thing I will say is we've had some pretty hot days, and I don't know if you can really see right here, there's a bubble. So I've been getting a lot of bubbles where it's raising up. I don't think anywhere on this one. I had like 4 or 5 on this, but I stabbed them with a knife and then pressed them down. I gotta do the same to this one right here. But yeah, right there, now you can see it. We'll see how it holds up over time. I'm not really sure, but for the price, I mean, it was like 180 bucks versus like $5,000 to have it professionally installed. Granted, I also didn't do the entire thing. If your boat has a lot of crazy cuts you gotta make, I would never wanna do it. It would be horrible. The only cuts I really had to make was right around those drains right there, and then everything else I just did straight cuts. So this was really easy, but a lot of boats have some really wild shapes and I would never wanna do that. There's pros and cons, just like everything else. So far, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. All right, just got a new delivery in. It is another bilge pump. The one that's in there, the automatic one, is an 1100 gallon per hour. This one I ordered is a 750 gallon per hour one because it has a 3/4 outlet on it, which already fits the hose and all that stuff. So I just tested it. It fits. Gonna clamp it down and install all of that. Clean all these wires up. Oh, and I gotta put the float switch back. This guy. There we go. Bilge pumps are done. We got an 1100 gallon per hour pump, 750 gallon per hour pump. This one's on a manual switch, that one's automatic, all neatened up. I'm sweating like crazy. One more job done. Now we're waiting for these speakers to get delivered and my brake line. More packages, more work. Sound system came in and it's time to install it. We have a 5-channel 1000 watt amp, 2 6.5-inch speakers, 2 8-inch speakers, and then the 2 tower speakers. So no wasting time, let's get to it. After a long night of organizing wires and fixing this all up, the sound system is in and installed. We got the 2 towers, we got the 2 6.5s, and the 2 8-inch full range. So this thing freaking rips. It is stupidly loud. I absolutely love it. But check this out. All these wires were perfectly cut to the right length for the other amp that went sideways, so I did the best I could. This is the neatest I could make it, but it's not terrible, you know? It's all right. This thing is so freaking nice now. And now I think the last thing on my list is this open space right here. I need to cut out a piece of wood that'll fit this. I've already measured it, 24 by 20. I chop that piece of wood, put it in there, order a little piece of foam or something on Amazon, and then I'll have a full interior. Because it's quite inconvenient to have that space when I want to sleep right across there. So let's go chop some wood. Well, I didn't account for those curved edges, but fits in there pretty freaking tight. So now I just gotta find a cushion that's 2-3 inches thick, and we're good. $29 piece of foam from Amazon, and I just gotta cut a simple little 2-foot section out of it. All right, it is not perfect by any means, but my mom picked this cover up from a little thrift shop for like 50 cents, and cushion 29 bucks, a little piece of wood for free found in the garage, and doesn't match, but it's good. And I can lay the bed over it, and it'll be nice and full bed. Good to freaking go, baby. Well, there is the full bed laid out. There's still a little bit of extra space, but the bed takes up almost the entire cabin. I'm not really gonna have much room. There's space under these 2 cushions, drops down to the floor, but I have life jackets and the toilet in there too, so there's really not a lot of extra space here. It's gonna be tight, but cozy. Got the new brake line installed. That was a pretty simple fix. Screwed right into the fitting, and then just zip tied it all the way along the axle. The part that was a pain was bleeding the brakes. Because this being surge brakes, you need to kind of like use the weight of the trailer to press on that and apply pressure to the brakes. And then you need to have something pretty heavy to pull back on this piece to slide it back out to release the brakes. So we actually used the old cap from this master cylinder here and drilled a little hole in it, stuck the air compressor to it and kind of pressurized it and blew all of it out that way. Still wasn't completely perfect. And then we ended up just raising the front of the trailer a lot and just gravity bled everything. And it took a few times to do it. We bled them, I drove it around, filled it up a little bit more, bled them again, and now we're good to go. That part was a pain. Brake line, easy. I also noticed this, the wrap is peeling off, so I gotta do something about this here, else it's gonna get really bad. I might just take a razor blade, cut that, and then just throw the sealant I have all along there. If this starts to peel up and then it just goes, it's gonna be a bad time. My plan for this video originally was to do all the repairs, do all the upgrades, and then go out and do some little test rides, cruise around my hometown where I used to dock my other boat and showcase all of that. But I went out with friends, no cameras, just out having a good time with friends. And if you saw the last video where I was in Summersville Lake, West Virginia, and at the very end of that video, I was having some engine problems where it put me in limp mode. I lost all power, went to an idle, and stuck in limp mode. I took it back out. It started doing it every single time I got on plane. As soon as I would get going, get up on plane, it would die, no engine codes at all. It would just go down to an idle, and then I'd be stuck in limp mode. I'd reset the batteries, get up on plane again, same exact thing. And it was to the point where it was literally just unusable, but I had no engine codes, no nothing to even give me an idea of what it was. So I found a Suzuki dealership nearby, took it there, dropped it off. They said the oil was a little bit low, and they said sometimes that can cause it. I don't think it was that low. I checked the oil and it looked decent. But then also one of the codes, whenever it very first happened, it flashed up and it said 2-6, which was a camshaft positioning sensor, I believe. So they replaced the camshaft positioning sensor, topped off the oil. They said they took it out for a test drive and it never acted up a single time. So about 5 days later, I go out, I pick it up, bring it back, and on my way home, I was like, you know what, I might as well go drop this in the water, make sure that it is good to go. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as I get up on plane, I was just about to reach top speed. I just started to trim the motor and the same thing happened. It died down to an idle, no engine codes, same problem, stuck in limp mode. I reset the batteries, tried one more time, and then it ran absolutely wide open throttle flawlessly for a very long time. I couldn't get it to repeat the same issue again. So I'm kind of at a loss here. I don't really know what's going on. I want to take it out for another test drive just to really dial this in before I continue continue my drive on this road trip. If I'm having issues like these, I'd really like to be here where I have access to my parents' house, a place to stay, all the tools I could ever need, and just any sort of stability in my life. But taking it to that Suzuki dealership, I mean, all this stuff, of course, wasn't under warranty, topping off the oil and replacing a camshaft positioning sensor. So ended up coming out to like, it was right around $500 for everything, which in the grand scheme of things isn't horrible, but it's still not fun. One more thing that I had them do that I could not figure out to save my life is adjust the trim on the motor. Whoever installed the motor, I understand why they did this, but they set it up so that when you trim it up, it stopped right there. So that way it wouldn't hit into this, it wouldn't destroy the cowling, because these cowlings are super freaking expensive. I understand why they did it, but this piece folds down. I wanted this to trim all the way up in trailer mode, because at this position where it's at, all the stress of everything is just on the transom. I wanted it to be on the support tabs that are on the motor. So I had them adjust it, and now we go way higher. So one of these days I'm probably gonna forget and slam into that, and hopefully it just pushes it. I don't really want to test it, but I'm afraid that it's gonna hit that and like compress in and just crack the cowling. But now that this is trimmed up all the way, they have these little tabs. Goes right down there, and then trim it back down. All the weight is on that. Now it's super solid, much better like that. And for anybody that watches this channel that may have this same issue, I can show you how to adjust that. If you have a similar year and model Suzuki outboard, mine is a 2021 Suzuki 250. I Googled and YouTubed and ChatGPT'd everything. Could not find how to adjust the trim limit on this thing, but it's a switch that's right behind the steering actuator. I can't even really show it on camera. I can't. It is that black tab right there. Yeah, so that tab is what actually adjusts electronically where the limit is. I would have never found that. I looked everywhere, couldn't find anything. ChatGPT was actually no help. Usually ChatGPT is my best friend and knows every single thing, but apparently ChatGPT does not know about 2021 Suzuki 250 outboards. But just one more thing, it's taken care of now. But I got this all hooked up again. I am about to tow it back down to the river. I'm gonna do another test drive, and I'm actually gonna take a camera with me, because when I was having all the issues, had no cameras, and for my test drive, no cameras. We'll go test drive number 2. Maybe that first one was just a weird fluke. We'll just pretend it didn't happen. Let's take this thing down, see if we're good to go. Hopefully we are, so we can get back on the road and continue this cross-country road trip and hit all the cool places that I have planned, because I have a lot of places that I'm really excited to get out to, and I'm getting a little antsy. I've been here too long, doing all this stuff, taking care of the problems, and I need to get back on the road. So let's go take it down to the river and test it out.
Before the test drive, I decided to try and fix my DJI drone, because there's a shortage of them and you literally can't buy them. So I spent $100 on 2 new arms and motors and sat there and watched YouTube videos and tried to fix this thing for over 6 freaking hours. I had to relearn how to solder things and literally use tweezers to deal with the tiny wires that were down inside this.
So far, so good. No, gimbal's not working. Damn it. Well, that's not good. I don't understand why. It's moving freely. Everything seems fine on it. I put it in exactly how it came out. Well, let's see if the motors are even fixed. Huh, she flies. Fixed the motor issue and created a gimbal issue. Fast forward, launched the boat. We're downtown Pittsburgh right now. Well, we're almost downtown Pittsburgh. Downtown's like right over there, and I'm gonna cruise down there. Freaking cross your fingers with me, because I'm so nervous right now. It took me an hour to get down here with all this stupid traffic, and I'm planning on leaving for my next destination tomorrow. 4-hour drive, and it all depends on what happens right here whenever I try to get on plane. If it dies, gonna have to go back to a shop, and who knows how much longer I'm gonna be stuck here. If it's good, it's good. Oh, I'm nervous, I'm nervous, I'm nervous. Chickens before they hatch. I still got my fenders hanging off the side of the boat. I'm gonna come to a stop. First test run good. Let's try it again. Full throttle. 30 miles an hour. 35. 38, 5,300 RPMs, 5,200 RPMs, 40 miles an hour, trimming up a little bit. We're trimmed up, fully wide open throttle, we're hitting 41, 400 RPM. I mean, I'm afraid to say that we're good, because then I know we're not gonna be good as soon as I say that. I'm so scared right now. I'm cruising towards the point in downtown Pittsburgh. It's still one of the coolest places I've ever been boating. It's such a unique spot. You're about to see it here in a second. Check it out. It's all downtown right here. This is the Monongahela River. On the other side is the Allegheny River, and then they both meet right at the center of the city. And then it creates the Ohio River, which goes all the way down to the Mississippi, has a million locks and dams on it. And then you can go from the Mississippi all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico if you wanted to. Whoa, baby. Downtown Pittsburgh, let's go, baby. It's working, we got no issues so far. I'm freaking happy right now. Woo! I don't know, I'm pretty stoked right now. It is 95 degrees right now, pretty humid. There's almost no boats out here. It's currently Tuesday at 3:50 p.m. Let's get another camera angle set up here. Oh. Every time something falls. Check that out, downtown Pittsburgh, one of the sickest views via boat. Bahamas are cool, downtown Miami's really cool. A lot of places I've been are really freaking cool, but I gotta give it up to my hometown. Pittsburgh is a pretty freaking sweet city, especially via water. We got the famous incline that goes up to the top of Mount Washington. Then we got the stadiums right on the other side. Big science center I used to go to as a kid. And then the casino that I go to as an adult. I don't really gamble. But this right here, just, you can't beat this. It's such a sick skyline of a city. I think it's so cool that the Allegheny and the Monongahela meet in the center, and then the Ohio continues down to the Mississippi. The Monongahela is usually muddy and gross. The Allegheny is usually a lot cleaner and nicer because it comes up from the mountains, but pretty freaking gorgeous out here. While I've been sitting here getting drone shots, I noticed this log right here that is not moving. It's completely straight up and down, and it is 20 feet deep right here. We're all the way out in the center, and that thing is just like an inch coming out of the water and then goes back under. Like, that is gonna ruin somebody's freaking day if they hit that. That can cause a lot of freaking damage, and there's like no way to, I'm wondering if I could try to mark it with something. I don't know what I have. I was just floating and I saw it going, well, I was moving by and it was sitting still. It's definitely like wedged into the bottom. It's gotta be huge. I mean, at least 20 feet tall, that's crazy. I don't know what I can do. Look at this thing. Oh, okay, it is not strong. I put my foot on it and it just went straight down, and now I lost it. It's a freaking mystery. Oh, there it is. I mean, I put my foot on it and it easily went straight down, but now it's just, I don't know. Oh, there it is, floated back up. Maybe it is floating. Maybe I'm just stupid. I could have sworn it was literally just stuck in one spot. You know what? Just forget it. Just forget it. I'm stupid. Oh my gosh. I had it. It's literally a 20-foot tree upside down with just the very bottom of the stump bobbing up and down at the top. I tried. I had it in my hand. I started pulling it up and it slipped out. It's huge and it's heavy. There it is. It just popped back up again. I gave up with that thing. Let's do some more test runs on this thing and make sure we're good before we leave. I can't even make this up. Everything was going so great. Pulled the truck down. I shut the boat off. Got the truck and trailer in the water, ready to go. I start the boat up, push off the dock, start heading over to the trailer. It just died, completely dead. Not even just to an idle, just dead. Now it will not start back up. So luckily the river flows this way and I floated back into the dock. I was able to jump onto the dock and pull myself back over, and now I'm tied up and it won't start. I don't know. I'm gonna walk this line over. Could you just throw that over that side? Yeah, I got it. Thanks, man. If you could, and then just give it a big push out, yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Well, I hate to leave the video here. I really thought we were leaving it on a high note. I was so excited, ripping around my hometown. Thought I was gonna get back on the road tomorrow, and that's not the case. This really sucks. They just spent like 10 days at the shop, and now, who knows how long it's gonna be again. I apologize. I hope you guys can stick with me while we get this thing back up and running, but oh yeah, I thought we were good to go. We might have to take a week off of YouTube. I don't know. I'm gonna do every single thing in my power to post a video next week. Pretty sad right now. Sad guy. Typical boat life stuff. Hopefully catch you guys next Sunday. If not, you know why.